The objective today is to write a simple event-driven program that has multiple screens. So first I want to start off by reviewing some standards just to emphasize how important creativity is in this class. So 1.1 says creative development can be an essential process for creating computational artifacts. 1.2 says computing enables people to use creative development processes to create computational artifacts for creative expression or to solve a problem. Both are great. And 5.1 says programs can be developed for creative expression, to satisfy personal curiosity, to create new knowledge, or to solve problems. So my point here is programming is supposed to be really creative and not so much stressful or complicated. I mean, programming is complicated, but with some creativity, I'm hoping you're learning to really enjoy programming. So my think, write, share here is I want an honest answer from you. How creative have you been feeling when you're writing your program so far? Okay, so a prediction, think, write, share to start with. Looking at this code, what do you think will happen when you click Run? And I give you some options here to help you through it. And I could tell you at least one of these three options is correct, so therefore, to help you predict, go ahead and choose one of these numbers. Now here I'm going to try to help you break this down. What you're going to see is that nothing will happen in these lines of code unless somebody clicks something. So message 2 doesn't print to the console until button 1 is clicked. Message 4 will not print unless button 2 is clicked. But these 3 will. And to maybe help you with this, really pay attention to where the semicolons are. So what's a screen? A screen is just a UI element like anything else in design mode, but it has a few special properties. A screen is a UI element that contains other UI elements. Only one screen can be visible at a time, and only elements that belong to a screen will be visible when the screen is active. There are multiple screens but only one coding workspace. And even though your design elements might be spread across multiple screens, your code does not get broken up like that. There is only one coding workspace that will still house all of your code for this app. In reality, screens aren't really real. A screen is just a convenient way to show and hide certain UI elements. Every program you write in AppLab could be done without screens by simply being clever about what elements show and hide at any given time. But programs like that are very difficult and annoying to write, so the concept of a screen makes a UI much easier to design. Now, if you must know, a screen is just an HTML division tag that contains other HTML elements. To show a screen, that element is made visible and the other divisions are hidden. So in AppLab, how do you make a new screen? There are two ways to add a screen. Either choose New Screen from the pull-down menu right here, or drag and drop a screen UI element from the toolbox. And a heads up here, as soon as you release the screen element, the app will show you a new blank screen. You can get back to other screens using the pull-down menu at the top. And I'll go to the website soon and show you how this is done. So here's the big layout, and the way I like to create screens, making sure it's in design mode, is by clicking this and then selecting New Screen. Here's some more directions you can pause on in order to read, if that's the type of learner you are. Okay, so now we're going to go to this link together, and I'll demonstrate some creativity. Your goal will be to finish all of this lesson 2. So here we are at the link, and I've already gone ahead and using the design mode I added quite a bit. So if I click here I can add another screen. Why don't I do that right now actually? So I have hello screen, screen 1, screen 2. Let me put another one in, and I'm going to go down here now. I will go ahead and call that screen 3. Sounds fine. If I go to background color I can choose a color. And then I could put an image as a background actually, so both a color and an image would be able to go here. But for now, let me just throw in a label and make it larger. So then if I go to text color or background color, let me go to background color and then go to text color here and make it dark. Okay. Font size needs to go up to 60 so it's easier to see. And then the actual text I can go over here and change. to whatever I want, and then move it around. So essentially you're in design mode, and that's how you can create your screens, and you can move back and forth between the screens you created. It's pretty easy to add a picture. You just go to choose here and then just click upload file, and you can start a collection of images here, and code.org will save that for you. And then when you're done creating your screens and adding the color and images, you just click the code, and that's where you can start altering the code. Here you can see that I said on the event show hello screen, well, when the hello screen is clicked, I want a log message that says working ? To print, and then the action I want to see in terms of the actual cell phone screen, I want to go to screen 2. And that's all I put here. So I made it really simple. So when I click run, so here's the hello screen, and when I click it, it's going to just say goodbye and show a little picture. Notice I can do nothing else here because my code did not specify any more actions. And also there's other screens. I created 2 other screens that you can't get to right now because the code doesn't allow you to. So spend quite a bit of time here being as creative as possible and create something. So with a lesson like this, I want you to have plenty of time to create. Let me just finish the lesson by talking about some things that might be a little confusing. Okay, so the first thing I want to talk about is we want the background image to be its own UI element, rather than just giving the screen a background image. We're doing this so that we can detect the difference between clicking on the target image and the background. Now the event listener for the screen triggers on every click, no matter what, at least according to this code we're using right now. Number 2, we're making the app respond to a click by not changing anything about the screen yet. We're only printing a message to the console. That's okay here. We're doing this in small steps. The reason is that this is a good strategy for programming with UI elements. Using console.log is a simple half step. We can verify that we're properly setting up the event handler to respond to the event that we want. Console.log will print something if the event fires. If console.log doesn't print, the event was never triggered, and we can check our code to figure out what's going on. All UI elements have IDs and can listen for user events and be used with an event. Now labels can have a background color but are designed to be filled with more text. Buttons have a default styling that changes slightly in color when you click it, but buttons can also have a background image and background color at the same time, which is convenient if your image is an icon, such as the thumbs up. Images can act a lot like buttons, only they can't have text or a background color. So your think right share here is what's the difference between images and buttons. So if you could do this for me, pick an IB attribute that relates to today's very creative day. Said you really have the rest of the class period to play around and create things. And you can certainly paste your code into Canvas for this DOL, or I'll show you a quick trick where you can paste images of your work on Canvas. So you basically want to download an awesome screenshot extension here, and when you click this, you can go here to capture selected area, and if I just want to show off this part of my creation, I could capture. It'll load the picture into another screen, and then I just click done, and then I can right click, copy image, and paste that into Canvas. And all you have to do to get this extension is go to Google and search for awesome screenshot and then download the extension.